Hey guys! So I don't know how this video is going to go. I've tried and failed to film it like 6 times already. Because I did plan, but like not very well. So anyway, today I want to talk about something specific. Before I go into it, trigger warning for alcohol use, abuse, whatever. And I've said this before. It's kind of obvious that there's a trigger warning. I mean, I'm putting it in the title. I'm doing my best. If you still watch this and get triggered, that's your own fault. But I definitely don't recommend you watch this if you think it will trigger you. Please do not. I'm not recommending that at all. But I know that people do that because I do that. That's another story. So anyway, today is February 3rd. Hopefully I'll upload this the same day I film it if my internet is good. But if not, I just wanted to say what day it was because today I'm officially 10 months sober from alcohol. And this isn't something I talk about a lot. I talked about it like once in group one time. Rarely like on Instagram or something I'll mention it, but I have an alcohol abuse problem. Now, I'd love to hear y'all's opinions, stories, what you think about all of this, because it's a confusing thing for me to think about and talk about, because part of me says, oh no, I don't have a problem, I'm just being, a normal young adult. And the other part of me knows that this is a problem. And I don't really call myself, like in my head, I don't think of myself as an alcoholic, but I kind of think of myself as an almost alcoholic. And that's kind of what this video is going to be about. I'm just going to explain my story with alcohol, and why I do think it is a problem for me. So, this is just what I have been through. So, starting at like age 15, it was probably a few months after I started self-harming at the end of my sophomore year, I started stealing alcohol, mostly from like my dad. And no one in my like immediate family or anything has a problem with alcohol. They all just drink it like, a glass of wine with dinner or something. Like my dad likes craft beer, like it's not a big deal in my family. So there's always like stuff around, and honestly, I don't like most alcohol. Like the only things I would drink just because I like how it tastes is like wine coolers, hard lemonade, like that, like really sweet, fruity stuff. Maybe some white wines I like. There's certain ones that I like, but like beer, vodka, oh, that's like rubbing alcohol. And I work, or have worked in an animal hospital, so it just reminds me of work. It's actually kind of funny. But anyway, like anything stronger than that, I don't like the taste, but I would steal alcohol from my dad. One time I stole something from my aunt and uncles. And back in high school, I would kind of stockpile it, and this is why I didn't think I had a problem, because it would only happen like once or twice a year back then, when I was a teenager. I would stockpile enough. I was very careful to only take a little bit at a time, so it would take a while. And I would get enough to get drunk. And then I would get drunk and feel like crap. And the part that was the problem was that I was doing it for the sole purpose of getting drunk, of feeling or making myself feel something or take away my feelings, because I was struggling so much with mental illness at the time, depression mostly, and I also would self-harm like every single time. Anytime I drank, I would self-harm. Like, obviously there's a lot of things that constitute self-harm, but I mean like physically, like either, I don't know, cutting, burning. One time I gave myself huge bruises because I just kept banging into the walls. Like, it was bad. So anyway, that happened for a couple years, and then I went to treatment almost 3 years ago. No. Yeah, 3 years ago. Oh my gosh. Just last week it was 3 years. Wow. Time flies. So, and then that was right before my 21st birthday, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to try to avoid alcohol because I know I do this. But I never really talked with anyone about it. And then I turned 21, and like that, like summer and kind of the next summer too, when I was more in recovery, I was able to just have like, a wine cooler or just like one drink with my dad or with friends or whatever and drink socially. And so there was a handful of times that I was able to do that. There was also 1 or 2 times at college that I would, like, my friends and I don't have parties. Literally, we're all in school to be vet tech, so it's like nursing school, very intense, but we'd have drinks while we studied at night or played like Cards Against Humanity to take a break from life. And there was a couple times that I drank with them and even got a little like buzzed, but I was okay, and I just had fun, and that was great. But then there was a lot of times, and again, this is why I didn't think I had a problem or didn't call myself an alcoholic, because it would only happen maybe once a month. And this is since my 21st birthday. Every once in a while, I would buy alcohol, get drunk, and I would do it by myself, not with anyone around. Got very embarrassed because a few times people found out and were around. That's crazy other stories. And then I would self-harm. One time, I don't even know. Anyway, so I do have a problem, and I'm finally admitting that. Thankfully, I feel very blessed that it didn't get to the point where I was like dependent on it, and I am at the point now in recovery that my family can have alcohol downstairs, and I do not take it. I do not drink it. I do not use it. I have not had anything alcoholic in 10 months. And I don't see the need to drink, My close friend, I guess I really don't have that many really close friends, does not drink at all. So, like, there's no pressure from her. And then my friends from college, like, they all just did it socially and for fun and not, like, to excess. And this is where I'm going to tell a little story. So the last time I drank was April 3rd, 2018. And it started out as a thing with my friends at college, and we were hanging out and playing a game, and I went overboard. And I am so thankful for those friends. They tried their best to take care of me, to, get me to drink something else, like stop me from drinking. And this is why, even though they may still do that, I feel like I can be around them because they understand, and they keep me safe. Let's say it that way. So they tried to, like, get me to go to bed and drink some juice and like calm down, and I didn't. I ended up self-harming, locking myself in the bathroom. At that point, that was when I gave myself a bob. I had hair down to about here, and I cut it up to my ears with a razor blade. It looked terrible until my mom could fix it. And then it was embarrassing because then I had to tell my mom what I did. I had to tell, well, my dad and one of my friends, and like a bunch of people knew that I did really stupid shit that night. And I'm so thankful for my friends who took care of me, who went to the store and got bandages and helped me, and it was embarrassing and horrible, and I felt terrible, and that is probably the reason why I have tried so hard to stay away from alcohol for the last 10 months. Because I know that I don't make good decisions. I didn't want to cut my hair, like what the heck. And I mentioned this on Instagram the other day. Last week, it was actually a week ago, last Saturday night, I almost relapsed with that. I had alcohol from my parents or from my dad, and I also had things to self-harm with. I had pills, and I knew that if I started drinking, I would hurt myself a lot, and pretty seriously. And the part of me that doesn't want that, that wants to stay in recovery, the part of me that wants to live, not end up in the hospital, that part of me won, thankfully. Honestly, I attribute it to God, because I've never been that close to hurting myself like that and been able to stop and put the stuff away and calm down and stay sober. Like, I'm very happy that I did that and that I made that choice. Yeah, I felt like crap the rest of the night. I cried my eyeballs out and I felt like nothing was ever going to be okay again, but I survived and I didn't hurt myself. I didn't end up in the hospital. I didn't end up dead. I'm still here, and that stuff sucks. All of those emotions suck, but they would have sucked a lot worse if I had started drinking again. So anyway, this video kind of went all over the place. Like I said, I didn't plan it out very well, but I really just wanted to share this, and I hope it encourages someone. I'd love to hear from anyone who has any kind of, I don't know, experience with this, or what your thoughts and feelings are. Alright, see ya later. That was really awkward. Oh well. I'm just